ओम ज्ञानतिमिनन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्तो राधाकान्तो नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna all of you, a very warm welcome. So again a bright Sunday evening. Just a second, I'll switch on my chart. Yeah, so last time we discussed that how basically I'll just quickly summarize the state of Arjuna, the consciousness. So basically Arjuna is a very, very elevated person. He's very qualified. He has won so many um, benedictions from so many authorities, like Lord Shiva has given him Pashupati Astra, and Dronacharya has taught him entire Dhanurvidya, and Bhishmadev also is his guru. So, and he is a grahastha. His wife is Draupadi, and he is having a lot of wealth. He's a king. He's a Kshatriya king, and there is no dearth of anything for him in his life. And still, basically, when he's on the battlefield, he is finding himself to be less equipped. He doesn't find himself to be qualified to start that battle. There are a lot of weakness of heart, material attachments, and so many things which are there in his heart, which he is revealing to Krishna, and then Krishna will give proper solutions to Arjuna in the subsequent chapters. So we see here that everybody, like in this world, everybody wants these things, right? Everybody wants wealth, everybody wants good progeny, good family, good wife, and good gurus, good guides, and everything Arjuna has. But still, here we see on the battlefield, he is totally confused. And he doesn't find sufficient courage to start the battle unless Krishna clears the confusion, elevates the consciousness of Arjuna. And similar challenges we also feel that we like there might be some situations in which we are feeling very comfortable. Suppose I got promoted, or I got some today is my anniversary or birthday. We went out, we had a nice party. We will feel that I'm so fortunate that we have everything in life. We have kids, we have wealth, we have family members, and we have friends to socialize with. But still, like there will be like life will throw some challenges to you that you will feel some anxiety, some fear, some trauma. And that is the nature of this life, that is the nature of this material world, that it will throw challenges, problems. And how to deal with those challenges, and how to elevate consciousness, how to process these fear, trauma, and anxiety, that is taught by Krishna to Arjuna in this Bhagavad Gita. And we'll also learn like similar things through this transcendental dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. So in the last session, we discussed that Arjuna is finding himself very confused after seeing Dronacharya and Bhishmadev. And this situation was deliberately created by Krishna, that he placed the chariot directly in front of Dronacharya and Bhishmadev. And that's why Arjuna is feeling a lot of shivering and a lot of Roma Harshana, Harshascha Jayate, the words which are used in the verse. So, yeah, and he continues this discussion with Krishna, and he's calling Arjuna is calling Krishna with a lot of names like Madhusudana and Janardana. And basically, Janardana means maintainer of living entities. So these are basically, he's trying to make fun of Krishna, that he's saying that you are known as maintainer of living entities, and here you are telling me to kill all of these people. You are like giving me contradictory indications. So this is not this is not befitting of you. And Madhusudana Madhu is a demon which was killed by Krishna. So Madhusudana means one who has killed Madhu, demon. So he's addressing Krishna as Madhusudana because Arjuna himself is full of doubts right now. So Arjuna wants Krishna to kill all those doubts. And then Govinda. So Govinda means one who satisfies the senses of cows, one who satisfies the senses of living entities also. So here in this devotional service also, when we serve Krishna, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevnam. So basically, when we serve Krishna's senses, then our senses automatically get satisfied. And here Arjuna is telling Krishna to satisfy his senses directly. He's giving like an order to Arjuna is giving an order to Krishna to satisfy his senses because he is known as Govinda. But in the purport, Prabhupada writes that it doesn't happen like that in devotional service. First, we have to serve Krishna, and then Krishna will satisfy your senses. And that is the litmus test. When you see that your senses are satisfied, then it means Krishna is satisfied by your service. So that is the like our eternal position in the spiritual world, that we are serving Krishna, and then we are getting happiness through that service. And then when we get happiness, then we serve more, and when we serve more, then happiness increases even furthermore. And when happiness increases furthermore, then we serve even more. So this cycle goes on and until this eternality principle is achieved in the spiritual world. So this is about devotional service also, because devotional service is actually born out of the internal potency of Krishna. So as we discussed, there are multiple energies of Krishna. There is external energy, there is marginal energy, and there is internal energy. And living entities, basically, they are under marginal energy. They are sometimes just like the sand on the bed of the sea, which is sometimes wet, sometimes dry. Because when the waves of the sea come, then the sand on the bed, it becomes wet, and when the wave recedes, then again the sunlight dries up the moisture, and the sand becomes dry. So like this, us living entities are also on the boundary of external energy and internal potency. So when we serve Krishna, then actually we are under the influence of the internal energy of Krishna. And then we can experience our true spiritual nature. We can experience the reciprocation of Krishna. And when we are just like doing our things, acting according to our sanskaras, and basically not serving Krishna and doing other things without remembering Krishna, we are forgetting Krishna, then we are in the external energy. So where there basically we have forgotten our true position, and our consciousness is more focused on the external, the temporary things. And this we have again discussed in the previous sessions, that those who are sadhus, they want to fix their consciousness on the truth, on the absolute truth, and they are not so much concerned about the temporary things, because temporary things, here today, gone tomorrow. So they might be here today, but they might not be there tomorrow. So things which are changing, we should not worry too much, but we should try to understand our true spiritual nature and our true relationship with the absolute truth, true relationship with Krishna. So that is what sadhus are concerned about. And when we basically cultivate that desire to know about the absolute truth, then actually our advancement happens. Because when that desire is there, then we ask, then we hear from sadhus, then we ask questions, and then sadhus answer. Then that eagerness actually kills the unwanted anarthas in our heart, and then we understand that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Because right now the soul is covered by subtle coverings of mind, intelligence, and false ego. But when we basically interact with sadhus and take their association nicely, then those coverings can be dissolved. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat seva bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtikya. So that is what Arjuna is doing right now. He's revealing his heart. He's putting questions to Krishna because he has sufficient trust in Krishna that Krishna will solve his problems. So like this discussion continues, and we will see today that Arjuna gives 5 reasons of not fighting. So what is happening is, as we discussed, that Arjuna has everything, but Arjuna doesn't have sufficient understanding of the consciousness. So for example, if you are a software engineer, you would like to dive deep into software. you would like to dive deep into the architecture design. If you are a UI engineer, you would like to dive deep into the UI aspects. If you are a manager, you would like to dive deep into your subordinates, basically. How are your dependents doing, whether they are performing their projects nicely or not. So, one who is a devotee, he dives deeper into the consciousness. So, what is the state of his consciousness? So, these days, basically, we say hi, we say hello, and sometimes people say Jai Mata Di also like this. But previously in Vedic times, people used to ask that how is your relationship with God? So, how is God treating you? So that was the introductory sentence by which we used to ask the other persons. So it means that everybody was so introspective, that simple living and high thinking. So they were thinking highly. They were trying to understand that what is their state of their consciousness right now, and what is their relationship with God at every moment. And that was the basis of the discussion in Vedic times, in Vedic tradition. And so that is the like speciality. And we can see, basically, when we start living on those lines, and when we cultivate these spiritual friends, and when we discuss about Krishna with these spiritual friends, then we experience some mystic happiness, some drop of bhakti rasa will feel in our hearts. And more we ask questions, more we share our realizations, that nectar will increase. And actually, that is the backbone of our Vedic tradition, that it was an agrarian economy, and morning and evening there used to be glorification of Krishna. So morning Bhagavatam, evening there used to be some story narration or play. So that was simple Vedic life, that simple living, high thinking, that they did not used to worry so much about the occupational duty, but by very simple means they used to earn their occupational duty, and rest of the time they used to devote in understanding scriptures and developing devotee relationships, developing. They used to give to family, to their kids, to their family, so that they can also learn about spirituality, and then basically they can also lead family life in a way where they can make advancement to move towards God. And that is the goal of life, actually, moving ahead towards God. And so, like, basically Arjuna is also now trying to build expertise here, that he wants to understand the depth of the consciousness. So till now he has all the other expertise. He is expert in Dhanurvidya, he is expert in family matters, he has a very beautiful wife, he has a lot of wealth, good gurus are there, but still he is facing these challenges, and we will also face these challenges when life will throw rocks at us. So we should also be prepared, like we should also be grounded, we should be in touch with Krishna, we should be in association of devotees, we should be in association of good counselors, where we can process different situations which come in our life with the lens of scriptures. So let's now like begin with that from the 36th verse. So any questions till now? So I'll quickly project the 36th verse. पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वेतानाततायिन तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धार्तराष्ट्रान् स बान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिना स्याम माधव. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? So this Svajana word we have, I think Krishna used in previous verses also. So here, one of the reasons Arjuna is giving, that if we kill our relatives on the battlefield, then like sin will overcome us. There will be some sinful reaction. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, just like Newton's three laws of motion. So in the material world also, for every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. So there are three different types of action. We will study that in the fourth chapter. So if we do like actions devoted to the Supreme Lord, like the bhakti actions, then there is no reaction. There is only like credits, bhakti credits, which we gain. But here in the purport Prabhupada is writing, so there are six kinds of aggressors. So this word atataina, it means aggressors. And there are six kinds of aggressor. First is one who is a poison giver. Second, one who sets fire to the house. Third is one who attacks with deadly weapons. One who plunders riches, and one who occupies another's lands. And last one is one who kidnaps a wife. So if we see scriptures, basically Ravan kidnapped wife of Ram. So Ravan is classified as aggressor. And basically, in Mahabharata, Kauravas are plundering the riches. They are forcibly trying to usurp the kingdom from Pandavas. They are also classified in aggressors. And they have given poison also to Bhima. Somehow they escaped. And they set fire also in the Lakshagre. So they have done this also. And they have attacked with deadly weapons also. And they have occupied the other's land also. So in scriptures, it is said that if anybody is classified as one of these aggressor, then if we kill a person who is an aggressor, there is no sinful reaction in that. So, so that's what basically Prabhupada is saying in the purport, that Arjuna, although Arjuna is saying that if we kill them, then we'll get sinful reaction, but scriptures say that if we kill them, then there is no reaction. And Prabhupada is saying that in the like in today's time, everybody wants Ram Rajya. So in Ram Rajya, like Lord Rama used to take care of everybody personally, of all the praja. And Lord Ram was very, very like strict about the ill elements in the society. So he was very blunt in uttering the punishment. Suppose somebody murdered somebody, so he needs to be hanged. Manu Samhita says if he is not hanged, then he will suffer in the next life the reaction of the murder which he has done in the previous life. So better the reaction should come immediately. So like this, Lord Ram was very, very particular about enforcing the punishments and enforcing the result of any action which every person is doing. So these days also, like people say that we want Ram Rajya. Why is there why isn't Ram Rajya not possible today? So actually, Ram Rajya is not possible until we feel the personal presence of Lord Ram, until we feel the personal presence of Krishna in our life. So then only Ram Rajya will be possible. The leaders have to be Krishna conscious. They have to be God conscious, and then they know how to take care of the people on a consciousness level. How to give protection, how to give shelter, and how to resolve things. How to lead by example. So leading is not just like theoretical. It's active leadership. Like you have to show by your example. Yeah, yad yad achariti shreshtas tatta devata rojana. So in that chapter also, like Krishna says that do certain amount of things, although I don't need to do anything. For example, in Dwarka, Krishna is doing all the like rules and regulations of Grahastha life, but he himself doesn't need to do that, but he still does that so that all the other people they may follow Krishna. Like they might not say, oh, Krishna was there, he was so naughty, he used to play with girls, he did not follow any rules and regulations. Why should we follow? We would also play with girls. So all those things in third chapter Krishna is making clear. So this presence of Lord Ram, presence of Lord Krishna can come only through this practicing of devotional service, practicing of Krishna consciousness. And when we ground ourselves, when we take some time out, half an hour, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe like read one verse from Bhagavad Gita which you really like, or maybe chant the holy names of God, or connect with people who are interested in knowing about Krishna. Ask them what is happening, what are you reading these days, what is your realization. So like this, we gradually we increase the manifestation of Rama and Krishna in our life just by discussing about Krishna and like glorifying his names by chanting his names. So like this has been discussed in this purport, that why like all the people want Ram Rajya, but it is not there. Why is it like that? Because our government is not Ram conscious, God conscious. Yeah. So the next two verses. Yeah. यदि ये तेन पश्यन्ति लभोपहत चेतसा कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कथं न ज्ञेयम् अस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षय कृतं दोषां प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Yeah, this is also amazing actually. So here you can see that Arjuna could understand the consciousness of the people who are on the opposite side. He could see that they are filled with greed, like Duryodhana means who is fighting for the wrong reason, and because of his greed only, that he did not give only even 5 villages to Pandavas. So Arjuna could see these things in the opposite party's consciousness. And Arjuna is giving this reason that although their consciousness is covered with lust, greed, and anger, but we ourselves are sane. We are in mode of goodness and transcendence. So at least we should try to understand that there are no winners in a war. And if this war happens, then most of the head of the families will be killed, and like women will be unprotected, and actually killing families, and that will induce quarrels in the families and within the friends also. So Arjuna is saying this to Krishna, and actually this is a symptom of a very elevated leader who can see the future, who can foresee uh, future by the use of his intelligence. So his intelligence was very sharp. So generally our intelligence is covered with lust, greed, and anger. We want things to be done in our way, and we want to achieve the milestones, we want to achieve the deadlines, but we don't see the bigger picture. So bigger picture has to be seen. Like we have to pause and see whether what we are doing right now, whether it makes sense, whether it fits the bigger picture, the bird's eye view. So that is what Arjuna is doing here right now, that he is able to envision the result, the consequence of the battle. And generally that is not the case with all of us, and that requires pausing and then cultivating Krishna consciousness, cultivating goodness, drinking water or anything which helps us to cultivate goodness, go beyond the modes of passion and ignorance. So in 14th chapter we'll read about this also, that there are three modes of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and ignorance. And generally when we are just basically focused in our work, whatever it is, we are not concerned about the bigger picture, then it is mostly mode of passion. And when we are basically very very lazy, we don't want to do anything, we are not feeling enthusiastic to do anything, or we are sleeping, so that is mode of ignorance. So here we see that Arjuna is at least in mode of goodness and even above transcendence, that he is able to give all these arguments, that although the party who is in the front, their consciousness is not so elevated, but if ourselves we are so wise and we know all the consequences, what will happen after the battle, then why should we follow them? We should not follow them, we should not kill. So this is what Arjuna is saying. Yeah, let's read the next verse also. Kulakshay pranashyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme naste kulam kritsnam adharmo abhibhavati uta. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. Yeah, so basically, these cultural practices, which are part of the family tradition, they are very important to make spiritual advancement. Uh, an upbringing in a religious environment, that is very very nourishing in later stages of life, because whatever you give a child in first 5 years, whatever food he takes, whatever vibrations he get around him, that will carry him throughout his life. Those sanskaras actually carry him. So actually many people are there who give a lot of knowledge, lot of training, that how to train a child to be a nice devotee, or to have good sanskaras, to have good culture in his mind. So even if basically child exceeds the 5 years, then they say that we can't do anything because all the sanskaras are done. So whatever majority of the sanskaras, they are molded in the first 5 years, and basically his mind is like a clay, and you can mold it as whatever you want. So like this, if you keep the child in a very very religious and positive vibration atmosphere, then his upbringing will be very great. Like his foundation will be very strong for his youth and for his adult, and when especially when he gets married, and then he basically he begets children. That foundation will always help him throughout his life. So that's why first 5 years are very important. How parents basically cultivate those sanskaras for that person. So here Arjuna is making that argument that if we kill all these people, then the traditional sanskaras will be destroyed for the families, and this will lead to irreligion. So this is also very like intelligent argument actually. Yeah. Yeah, so through all these practices, religious practices, our consciousness becomes elevated, and we should not give up these. अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रिया स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु varshneya jayate varnasankara. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vashni, becomes unwanted progeny. Yeah, so basically, protection of women is required. So when women is young, like women is in very, she's in like first 10 years, she should be protected by her father, and when she is young, youthful, then she should be protected by her husband, and when she is old, she should be protected by her her elderly sons. So that is what scriptures say. And that's what Arjuna is saying, that if we kill all the head of the families, then women will become unprotected, and then they will go in the wrong direction, and they might become polluted, and that will result in Varna Sankara. So Varna Sankara means basically unwanted progeny. So basically there is a specific way in which we beget children, which is prescribed by Shastra. We will not get into the details, but at least we should know that for sake of for pleasing God and for satisfying God, when we want to engage that progeny in service of God, that progeny is actually wanted progeny. And anything apart from that, basically if we do it on our own whims, then that is unwanted progeny. And that's what and ultimately the consciousness of parents gets transferred to the consciousness of the child also. So this is all very like scientific principles which are described in our Vedic knowledge. So that's what Arjuna is saying, that if women feels unprotected, then they will give birth to like children who are not really intelligent, and who might have the same unprotected consciousness, and who might be actually demoniac, because they are not begetting children for a purpose. They are begetting children just for their own whims. So this is the like, I think, fourth argument. शङ्करो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानं कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदका क्रिया. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. So this verse talks about Shraddha ceremony, and Shraddha ceremony in itself is a science. So basically, if you offer Vishnu Prashadam or water to your forefathers here, just to their photos, then actually it reaches them wherever they are. They might be in heavenly kingdoms, or they might be in other planets, but actually they gain that spiritual benefit, spiritual credit when you do Shraddha here. So that is mentioned in the Vedic knowledge. And Arjuna is saying that if you kill the head of the families, then this Shraddha ceremony will be gone. And then the ancestors, which if they are stuck somewhere, if they are stuck in some animal body or in some bad places, some hellish places, then they will have uh, no resolution, no salvation from there. So so this is another reason because of which we should not fight. And this is the like Shraddha ceremony is the offering of food and water. And I think in the purport, Prabhupada talks about that Devarshi Bhutat Punyam Pitrinam. So basically, if we follow devotional service, if we follow the four regulative principle, if we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and then if we take association of devotees and study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then actually by performing devotional service, we can compromise for this. We don't need to do exclusively Shraddha ceremony. We can just offer Krishna Prasadam to them daily, and then we can actually become free from the debt also from other demigods and parents. Because as soon as we enter in this material world, we are actually indebted to all these personalities from whom we have taken so much. For example, like our mother, she keeps us in her womb for 9 months. Like half of the one fourth of the food we are eating, that is coming from mother's mouth. And similarly, father also, he's inviting the soul, and then mother is nourishing the body of that progeny. And then there are demigods who are arranging rains, grains, and then there are other people who are selling vegetables and other things, other relatives with whom we are taking shelter. So we develop a debt to them when we grow, like when we become 10 to 12 years. Generally, at that time, debt stops. And then after, like once we grow, once we basically get married, and then we get children, so that is the time to pay back that debt. Because whenever you take debt, suppose you take a loan of 1 crore rupees, then you have to pay back 1.2 crores, because with interest you have to pay back. So this is what like material laws say, that whosoever you are indebted with, whosoever you are owing the debt, you should liquefy that debt. And the best way to liquefy this debt to all these personalities is to perform devotional service. So anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Yeah, so basically Krishna is in background, sadhus are in background, although we don't see them, but still they are in background. For example, in Google also, right, there are so many courses which are designed in such a nice manner, and they are training the managers in such a nice way, and we don't feel this type of environment anywhere else in any other company. Why is it so? Because there are people who have invested in those courses maybe 10 years back, 20 years back, and we might not feel their presence right now, but we can feel their presence through these courses, through these trainings. So similarly, like whatever we are getting right now, that are that is possible through the demigods and the sadhus, which have like done sacrifice maybe two three generations previously. So because of this, we are getting what we are getting today. So like this, if we perform devotional service unto Krishna, then these debts can be resolved. And that's why Krishna will keep motivating Arjuna to fight in spite of these reasons which Arjuna is giving on the bodily platform. Yeah. So I think we can pause here. Yeah, we have 45, 30 minutes I have spoken. So let's see if there is any questions. A lot of things I have told today. Yeah. Yeah, so here we see that basically Arjuna, whatever reasons he's giving on the like scriptural platform, bodily platform. And within scriptures also there are different levels of principles. And now when Krishna will start speaking in the second chapter, we will understand that actually Krishna will take Arjuna to the higher principles. Like you are not this body, you are spirit, soul, and how the next body is decided, and how you don't need to lament being a Kshatriya. So Krishna will infuse Arjuna's consciousness with devotion. Like he will teach him devotional service. So like this, basically, Krishna is elevating Arjuna's consciousness. But the arguments which Arjuna is giving, those are also very good. That is the nature of any intelligent person, any intelligent devotee who. So before taking any decision, before taking any step which might affect the lives of others, we should try to have a counselor like Krishna and then discuss with him that I'm thinking about this in this way. These are the positive, these are the negatives, and I might not want to do this. Then when we basically seek counsel from seniors and then they share their wisdom with us, then we can make good decisions and move ahead in life and yeah, be somewhat safe in this world. Okay, if no questions, then we'll conclude. Bharti, any questions?
Uh, no, no.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll continue this, the reasons which Arjuna is giving. The last reason will come in the second chapter. So we'll see how Krishna deals with Arjuna giving these reasons in the next session. Okay, thank you very much, all of you, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, bye bye.
Hare Krishna.